Hey, I'm Jamie with Guitarist, and today we've got a really interesting guitar that could just represent the future of acoustic guitar making, or at least a trend within it that we should probably pay attention to. What I have in my hands is the Martin GPE Inception Maple. So, the clue is in the name. It has maple back and sides. Now, outside of J200s, maple isn't normally used for all that many acoustics, partly because, as Martin put it themselves, it can sound a bit stiff. It can have a nice immediate note that doesn't have a lot of depth or complexity to it. It is, however, quite widely available compared to tropical hardwoods. So Martin have made the effort with this guitar, the GPE Inception Maple, to use it but also extend the tonal range to make this a true all-rounder. So we're going to hear a bit more from it, and then we'll get into the reasons why this works as a guitar where previous maple guitars perhaps haven't been such competent all-rounders. As you can hear, it's a beautiful sounding guitar. It is a premium instrument. It's about £4,300 in the UK, but there's an awful lot going on under the hood to make that maple sound absolutely stunning in this context. Now, this isn't the first in the Inception series. The first one was the GPCE, which was a cutaway model, which was launched in 2024. This obviously differs by being a non-cutaway model, so it's slightly more traditional. The looks are still quite contemporary, but many of the same features that were in the launch cutaway model, the GPCE, are also present on this. So let's take a little walk through them. So one of the things that Martin tried to do with this guitar was to open up the sound of maple and make it a little bit more warmer and give it a little bit more depth. And the first thing that they've done is use black walnut, which again is quite a sustainable Northern Hemisphere wood, for some elements in this guitar, and the theory being that it softens some of the attack and brightness of maple. So I'm just going to turn the guitar over carefully here, because where it's been used most obviously is in this beautiful curved wedge-shaped fillet of wood that's been put in to this figured maple back. It's a little bit somewhat resembles a D35 back, although that's a different construction and a different wood, but that kind of look to it looks really great. And again, this is the sort of first tool that Martin have used to sort of round out the sound of maple here. But let it be said, the maple they have used here is a lovely, stunningly figured wood, and it looks good with the amber fade finish they've used here as well. Some of the things that make this guitar sound so interesting and so good are actually beneath the surface, so we're going to have to sort of explain those. The first is skeletonized bracing. Now, bracing are the sort of struts of wood that support the top. Obviously the top is being pulled by several tens of pounds of force by a set of strings, so it needs some reinforcement. And over the years, this reinforcement has been done by struts of spruce, which are kind of solid bars which have been scalloped away at the ends to produce the best tone, and they're generally in an X-braced pattern which Martin devised in the 19th century. These ones, however, have honeycomb apertures in them. This is hence the skeletonized name. So the idea of this seems to be to lighten up the braces while keeping the same structural strengths as they would have if they were completely solid. And the idea behind that is to make the top more responsive. So Maple's quite dense. They want to bring out some more complexity in the tone with this guitar. So the spruce top has been given skeletonized braces to just let it vibrate a bit more freely. There's also something you genuinely can't see, which I think called tone channels, which are like a kind of narrow sort of groove which has been cut around the most resonant areas of the top to let them, a bit like a speaker cone, let them resonate a bit more freely as well. So this is all aimed at freeing up that top a bit to let it do its thing a bit more, and sort of produce a richer tone in general, while retaining the structural strength and stability that you'll need for a guitar that you'll own for a lifetime, hopefully. As mentioned, we've got an ebony fretboard, 25.4 inch scale length. So just for reference, for those of you coming from electric guitars, a Fender scale length is 25.5 inches. It's a sort of nice chimey, springy kind of feel to it, a slightly higher tension than shorter scale length guitars for a given gauge of string. And those are the sort of main things. There's an LR Baggs Anthem pickup in it, a very high-end pickup that combines a microphone with an undersaddle element to produce a sort of hybrid sound, so it's the best of both worlds type sound. So there's no flies on it from that point of view as well. And meanwhile, we've got these nice, quite contemporary inlays here, which I think are quite tasteful. And that's the deal, really. So who is the buyer for this guitar? Well, we've found that this guitar rewards really confident, kind of positive playing. So it's really nice for fingerstyle if you're a confident fingerstyle player. It has a 44.4 millimeter nut width, which is quite generous, allows you plenty of room to move about. Again, with that slinky GE modified low oval neck, that's very nice. One thing that a few commentators on YouTube have pointed out, Martin have actually launched this guitar with phosphor bronze strings on it. The original one came out with Martin's proprietary Lux Kovar strings on it, which are a different metal alloy, which have a kind of unique sound, and it's not a bad sound, it's actually pretty cool, but most people are familiar with phosphor bronze. So I think quite wisely they've reverted back to the sort of standard benchmark, and I think that helps people calibrate their ears to what this guitar can do. It has a very clear voice, it has quite a sort of lively, sustaining sound as well. It's really kind of something that would be nice to play kind of Celtic fingerstyle on. It strums beautifully, it doesn't collapse when you hit the notes hard. It's basically quite a sort of bold sounding but not harsh sounding guitar, and it does have a bit more of that depth that has been lacking in some maple body guitars in the past. So mission accomplished for Martin? Yes, I would say so. It's really quite an interesting guitar with a contemporary voice. If that's for you, then you might well get really smitten with this guitar. Vintage purists, need not apply, but that's okay. Martin will be making D28s as long as the sun still shines, and I think if you're on the lookout for something a bit different, do give one of these a try, because even though it's a premium price tag instrument, it's got a lot of unique things to offer that are really engaging and immersively interesting for fingerstyle guitarists, for strummers, and so on. So give one a try next time you see it, and if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you next time.